Now, ExxonMobil has announced it will invest $20 billion in the Gulf of Mexico over the next 10 years, a move which was congratulated by the White House. Now, however, Exxon's investment plans are not exactly new because they were actually originally announced in 2013 but put on hold as oil prices fell sharply. Let's take a closer look at the plans. Over the next decade, the company is planning on developing 11 chemical and natural gas plants along the Gulf Coast. The investment will create around 35,000 temporary construction jobs, 12,000 permanent jobs, which will certainly please the Trump administration. One paragraph from ExxonMobil's press release appeared word for word, copy and pasted on a press release by the White House. Well, here's what Trump had to say about Exxon's investment.
I just want to congratulate everybody, and I want to thank very much ExxonMobil. Special company, special people. Thank you.
Well, Stephen Schork joins me now from Pennsylvania. He's the editor of the Schork Report, which provides daily analysis of the energy industry. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us on Money Talks. Let me ask you about this relationship between ExxonMobil and Donald Trump. They share press releases to some degree. Rex Tillerson is the former CEO of Exxon. He's now the Secretary of State. And Trump is coming out personally to thank the company for creating more new jobs. What kind of relationship does the Trump administration have with Exxon?
Well, it certainly would appear that he has a very cozy relationship with Rex and with the company. And we could only guess why. The U.S. oil industry during the recession and coming out of the recession, the oil and gas industry in the United States was the one bright shining light that was adding a large quantity of jobs and a large quantity of high quality jobs. That is to say, high paying jobs. So from 2008, 2009, in the depths of the Great Recession, up through the crash in oil prices through the end of 2014, the oil industry was the leader in providing the best quality, best quantity of jobs out there. Now, of course, there's been a number of projects shelved since 2014 because of the collapse in oil prices. We have to keep in mind that capital is going to go anywhere around the globe where it is welcomed and where it is treated well. And with this administration and what we've heard from the rhetoric, whether we want to believe it or not, the rhetoric would certainly seem to suggest that the climate has changed, with the oil and gas industry no longer a pariah, no longer being held hostage to the ideology of the previous administration, which did favor a different type of energy economy that was focused more on renewables. This administration has clearly signaled its desire to go back to the hardcore hydrocarbon economy. So with that said, the green light has been given to the industry. Companies like Exxon are now willing to go ahead and make a multi-billion-dollar, multi-year investment in the Gulf Coast of the United States.
What do you make of the ExxonMobil building the sort of manufacturing powerhouse, as they call it, along the U.S. Gulf Coast? Tell us about the shale revolution that they're claiming and how they're going to be manufacturing cleaner fuels and more energy-efficient plastics and so on.
Well, indeed. And essentially, this was the biggest misnomer about OPEC's attempts to, and the thought was they were trying to destroy North American crude oil production. What OPEC actually did was give the industry the biggest favor. They forced the industry over the past 3 years to retrench, to become more efficient, more productive, and so now they can squeeze out margins on even lower oil prices. So U.S. industry is now leaner and meaner. So whether we're talking about Exxon on the Gulf Coast, we also have Shell. Shell announced 6 years ago they were planning to build a massive petrochemical plant in the western part of my home state in Pennsylvania. They haven't done it. They're now going forward and moving forward with that project. So whether we're talking about Exxon or whether we're talking about Shell, the key denominator here is cheap energy.
Okay, Stephen Schork in Pennsylvania. Thank you